Yo, 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 what's up with you young boys, man? Hope y'all doing cooler than cool. But back playing on balloons. Let's see. Let's get this game going real quick. But realistically, just wanted to talk about because I'm almost debt free. By the end of this year I will be.
I love the smell
And
of bubble wrap in the
I wanted to talk about getting a part-time job to pay off your debt faster because that's what I did. But I no longer work there, but still, that is what I did to accelerate and get my car paid off, get my credit cards paid off. I'm waiting on my Pell Grant to pay off the rest of my student loans, so I gotta wait to the end of the year for that to like disperse or whatever, But yeah, that's how I'll be getting that paid off by the end of the year, if you were wondering. But should you even get a part-time job to pay off your debt? I'd say if it's yes in general, because like if it's less than 10,000 and you just want to wait, yeah, sure, but could if it's over 10,000, definitely try to knock some of that off. If you don't have a high paying job that you can just, save up like 4 or 5 paychecks and get it done. If it's over 10, yeah. If it's under, maybe you could just keep paying it off slowly over the next year or two. But for most people, it's like they should just pay it off. Like I just paid mine off. So that's pretty much what a lot of people are just gonna do, just pay it off if they get it, if they do get a part-time job to do it. But pros of it, you pay off your debt faster, you have more things to do during the day. If you're not like a super active person, most people aren't, they usually go to work and go home. So I don't know, if you're bored at home a lot and you're sitting there like, hey, I could be making more money, you could. You can meet new people at your job. I met new people in mine, so hey, if you want to hang out with them, want to meet new people, want to expand your horizons, go on ahead. You pay less interest on your debt. So if you have like a crazy high interest rate, like 15% or something, you want to get that paid off before the end of the year, so you're not paying even more money on the interest. And what I saw was just how much money or how much extra work it took to generate that much money, to generate like 4 to 5 thousand extra dollars. I had to bust my ass just to do it. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to go into debt again. This is a lot of work just to get rid of this somewhat insignificant amount of debt. And why did I get striker jumped? Why did I think that the cannon was a military monkey? No, it's a primary one. I would have got someone else. Uh, Dang, I would have definitely got someone else. Yeah, this guy kind of sucks without the. I thought that the bomb was a thing. My bad. Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah, so you'll see how much it takes to pay off debt. And but the cons of it, you have to work a job you might not like. Now the part-time job I got was at Home Depot, overnight freight. I kind of hated that job, I'm not gonna lie to you. That it just didn't work for me for a variety of reasons. But yeah, job I got was Home Depot overnight freight because it paid the most and the schedule worked out with mine. More or less worked out with mine. Other con, you have way less time to do chores, errands, and other things. Like, my apartment went from being clean to a mess because each time I got off of work, I just had to go directly to work. Get off of work at like 5 o'clock. I'd come home, get dressed. I'd had to be over there at Home Depot by 7. So it was just a lot of extra stuff to get done, man. And you don't realize how much it really was for me to just have to do that every day. I didn't realize how much it was when people had second jobs. Like, mom had a second job, my sister had a second job. I never really thought about it. Like, oh, they're just going to work again. That they're doing a lot of stuff. Like, having a second job it's rough. I understand now. It is rough. Another thing for a con is leave. If you want to schedule leave on your other job, you have to schedule leave for your current job. Now then, with places like Home Depot, you can't schedule leave for like the first 6 months you're there. So I have leave built up in my other job, but I can't really use it because I'll still be working that day. Because like if I'm working at Home Depot, at the end of the day, then I take leave from my other job. All I'm doing is just basically having the morning off, and I still have to go in there at night. So it kind of ruins your leave thing unless you have good enough leave, good enough managers at both jobs to whereas you'll be set with both places. So it really messes up your leave. Off days, if you have like, I sometimes had off days during the weekday, so without leave. So sometimes I would be off on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, but I still had to go to work that day. So it was ruining my off days basically, because you know when you have to go to work, you don't want to really do anything to tire yourself out. So you're just like, oh man, I just gotta sit around and wait till work happens. Work out in the morning, maybe go get some food or something. Then you're just sitting around like, I gotta go to work. I can't do anything too crazy, and I can't super relax at home right now because I know I have to go to work. At least that's how I felt. Let me get this pursuit up because I'm barely paying attention. Make sure. I need to focus on getting this probably next. But yeah, that's another thing for off days. You're exhausted, and you will have a lack of sleep. At least I did, because I had to get up at 6 a.m. for my other job. So, because I was working 12-hour shifts, so I had to get up at 6 a.m. I was get off at like 5 p.m. Be back over there by 7 to 11 most of the time, because other times it was like, why did I do faster firing?
Orders?
Okay, yeah, but yeah, because most of the time it would be 7 to 11, but sometimes he'd be like, yo, we got stuff to do. Sometimes you gotta go at 12. I'm like, bro, no, I'm scheduled from 7 to 11. But at Home Depot, it's a weird store because like the managers have to let you out. Like you can't just walk out the door, right? Because sometimes people might walk in and steal equipment or whatever, right? So they lock the doors. So I'm sitting there waiting like 30 extra minutes just for him to come over there. And basically everyone else is done. It's like, well, I can't be over here all the time. Like you're being held hostage just to leave the building. But yeah, that's a rant just for that place. But anyway, another con, the commuting. That place was 20 minutes from me. Now you might be like, 20 minutes isn't bad. But I had to drive that 20 minutes in traffic at the end of the day just to get there. And it was like a highway 20 minutes, not a roadway 20 minutes. Highway 20 minutes is different. It was like 16 to 18 miles away from me. Not like 5 miles down the road, but you just gotta beat a bunch of stoplights, so that's why it's 20 minutes. No, this was straight up highway. 16 to 18 miles away from my house. Every day. It was awful. And sometimes there'd be traffic, so it was even worse than that. There were other places by my house, but none of those places hit me back. This is the only one that did, so I just had to work with what I had. And man, I really do wish someone else would have just hit me back, because it was awful trying to get all that done. Operator storm, spy plane, operator dart storm. Let's get that going. So yeah, because there's literally one like 5 minutes away from my house. That's the one I was trying to get to, and then there's like multiple other ones that are like 10 minutes away, all roadways. So they probably would have honestly been like 7 to 8, but the only one that hit me back was the one that was 20 minutes away, so I just took that one. And hey, and they had the schedule that worked with mine, so that's what I tried to do. But next one, let's go to this one. Nah, I'm not going to free play. Just leave out of that. Go to verse. Honestly, bro, I just go Quincy over anyway. Yeah,
Nothing gets past my bow.
yeah, over 8 to say. But yeah. Other things is like you might not vibe with everyone at that job. I'm an idiot. Like Ed, the people that were cool, I had no real issues with them. But like, I didn't necessarily vibe with them, you know? They were cool. I vibe with people at my main job, but just not at the secondary one. No problems with them, but just, I don't know, it just didn't really we just didn't really mesh. So it is what it is. But I was cordial. They were cordial. I had a few laughs with them. Had a good time. Don't think any of them are bad. Just I don't know. Yeah, you just don't get a vibe with some people. So it is what it is. And hours of the part-time job. Now then, the schedule worked with mine because it was 7 to 11. But those are still rough hours because I'm used to going to sleep at like 9 to 10. So I'm forcing my body to stay up past when it naturally should be, and that was killing me every day. Like literally, I never got used to it. I was always tired and yawning around 9 or 10, and I'm just ready to go home at that point, and I'm just waiting for 11 o'clock because sometimes like we didn't have a lot of work, so I'm just standing there just waiting to go home because like I'm tired and I want to go to sleep. Like literally 4 hours there felt longer than the 12 hours at my main job because of one, I'm tired. I can talk to the people in my main job for most of the day and still feel pretty decent. So that, not really vibing, and extremely physical job, bro. And I'm thinking this is all good stuff. Like, yo, the time's gonna go by super quick. No, it didn't. It was so slow. Like that 4 hours felt longer than the 12 hours at my main one. I promise you it did. But say all that to say this, would I do it again? Yes, just to get my debt paid off, I would do it again. It was only for like 3 or 4 months, so it worked out in my favor, and I got everything I needed to get done.
Oh yeah.
So I don't regret doing it. Do this. Put that on strong. The only things would be I would just pick a closer job. Like I did apply for the ones near my house, but none of them picked up. So, but I still would try my best to get a closer job. I would pick a less physical one because, like I said, I was getting good sleep. Like, because I'm usually waking up at like 2 or 3, and I'm like, bro, let me try to get back to sleep. I was always sleeping till like 6, 7 a.m. But that was also I'm being sleep deprived, and it was always making me late every day. So I would pick a closer job, a less physical one, and I would say one with better hours, but that one matched up the best out of every job I pretty much had over there. So it would just be one that was like, hey, we go home at this time. Since we go home at 11, everyone goes home at 11, okay? Not just like, no, we're not going home at 11. No, we need to be here till 12. My schedule says 11, bro. I want to go home. But thanks for hearing me yap, bro. If you want to, I do suggest get a part-time job just to pay off all your debt. It's gonna suck for the first few months, but in my opinion, you'll be better off for it. Most people are better off for it. But if you think you can thug it out and just wait till next year or whatever, you do you. You do you. But I'd suggest you just get her done and just make sure you're going on. But thanks for listening to me yap. But you can sit here and watch the rest of this gameplay. I'm just gonna let it rock out, speed it up a little bit.